Bill Gates was a regular visitor at Jeffrey Epstein's Zorro Ranch, according to multiple survivors, who allege the globalist billionaire was not only cloning children, but performing bizarre medical experiments, including dental work, in which teeth were extracted in the most painful ways for the most depraved reasons imaginable. Gates thought money could bury truth by the media and corrupt government officials. He thought he could bury the stench of evil under foundations and philanthropy. But the cover-up is falling apart in real time. Now Epstein survivors are speaking out about the sadistic role played by Gates, revealing cloning and science experiments that cross from science fiction into outright horror. And when the world finally hears this truth, it won't just crack the facade, it will rip the veil clean off, unleashing a reckoning that shatters the illusion of who has really been pulling the strings in this world. Before we dive in, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and join the People's Voice Locals community to join our incredible community, support the channel, and gain access to exclusive and uncensored content. For years, we've been sounding the alarm, warning about paedophilia, cannibalism, and ritualistic horrors running rampant among the powerful. And what did we get in return? Labelled as conspiracy nuts, fake news peddlers, all for daring to expose what the victims are saying and our research kept uncovering. But now the evidence is out in the open. Millions of pages, unredacted references, repeated mentions of terms long flagged as coded language for the unthinkable. Pizza, hot dogs, cream cheese, jerky. Phrases that once sounded absurd until they appeared hundreds, even thousands of times in Epstein's own communications. Now, a search term is opening a rabbit hole so grisly, so soul-destroying, that even the most hardened investigators should proceed with caution. We're talking about teeth, children's teeth. According to multiple Epstein survivors, Epstein and key associates were obsessed with dentistry. Dentist chairs are found in multiple Epstein properties. Occult symbolism and death masks were found on the walls. And most chilling of all is the explanation offered by Epstein survivors who witnessed the full horrors of the child trafficking branch of the operation. Children's teeth were removed so they couldn't bite their abusers while being tortured and abused.
Is this why Jeffrey Epstein paid for his girlfriend Karina to get into Columbia Dental School after she was rejected by donating hundreds of thousands of dollars through his connections? And why there are dental chair and dentist rooms throughout his properties? Or is it possible that teeth is another code word for something else like pizza and jerky? Because when you search teeth in the Epstein files, you get 1,818 results. And a trove of weird messages like, reminder you want to discuss Faith, Gnome, Deepak, Woody, teeth cleaning, Zagat, Eric Roth. Teeth cleaning, haircut, blood test. Okay to tell redacted about her teeth cleaning and whitening. 2 p.m. Make sure teeth cleaner is on time. So why the obsession with teeth? And is it possible that Jeffrey Epstein's walking around out there with a new set? And why hasn't somebody questioned his girlfriend Karina about all of this?
Before we expose the horrific role played by Bill Gates in this nightmare, it's worth examining the role played by the last person to see Epstein in his Manhattan cell before he was exfiltrated by Israel. His girlfriend, Kanya Shuliak, who appears to have disappeared off the face of the earth.
That right there, that's Karina Shuliak. That's right, the same Karina Shuliak that was seen with Jeffrey Epstein just 2 days before he offed himself, allegedly. You know, the same Karina who he left $100 million to. His dentistry school he paid for. He even got her own dentist chair in his house. Here is Karina again at her Columbia postdoctoral gala. Confirmed she was attending Columbia University College of Dental Medicine. She always seems to be hiding in the back of each photo. See, there she is again. I can't help but wonder if she just doesn't want to be seen. Because after all, Karina, you were the last person to see Jeffrey Epstein. He also handed to you a majority of his fortune. Claimed in his will that he had planned on marrying you and was going to buy you a 33-carat ring. Something tells me you were actually the bond keeper holding the whole plan together. Because I think we all know that Jeffrey Epstein didn't really kill himself, did he? So while you were trying to blend right in, you were really playing the part as secret keeper.
The crimes against children now pouring out of these Epstein files are so extreme, so unimaginable, that anybody implicated in these crimes must be dragged to justice. Think about the reports tied to Zorro Ranch. Fresh allegations of children transported in buses, hundreds of them, screaming as they're taken to remote locations. We're also talking about corpses of underage girls buried in the hills surrounding the ranch, strangled by a VIP abuser. The description of a redacted image in the Epstein files gives you an idea of the level of depravity we're dealing with here. The file states, media stories have stated that Epstein and Maxwell's victims were mostly teenagers, but there's also evidence that they also abused younger girls. Jean-Luc Brunel reportedly provided Epstein a birthday gift of 12-year-old triplets. Brace yourselves. This part is beyond disturbing. Epstein victims have reported in sworn statements buried in these files of seeing girls as young as 2 years old, caught up in this nightmare network. And then there's this one entry in the files. A completely redacted image. Nothing visible except black boxes covering the entire thing. But right there in the document, text describing exactly what's in that image. Graphic, sadistic, inhuman acts against a child. Stuff so depraved, I won't read it aloud. You can pause the video if you're doing your own research. Despite piles of proof, images, videos, survivor accounts, the Department of Justice still refuses to prosecute the enablers, clients, or co-conspirators. Redactions hide names, files disappear after backlash, victims get exposed, monsters stay shielded. This isn't justice, it's a full-scale cover-up. And we're determined to continue exposing the abusers one at a time. Coming right up, Epstein survivors expose the role of Bill Gates in the terrorization of extremely young children. Today's sponsor is pillsforever.com. If you think Big Pharma have your best interests at heart, think again. The price of medicine in America has skyrocketed, and there are certain medicines Big Pharma don't want you to know about. That's why I've partnered with pillsforever.com. All of their FDA-approved medicines are the cheapest you'll find anywhere. More importantly, you can order medicines that Big Pharma don't want you to have, such as ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, and fenbendazole. Speaking of fenbendazole, not only does it get rid of parasites that live inside your body, there have been studies that show fenbendazole can help with cancer. Listen to this bombshell interview with Mel Gibson, who says 3 of his friends who had terminal cancer were cured by the very same ivermectin and fenbendazole available at pillsforever.com.
I have 3 friends. All 3 of them had stage 4 cancer. All 3 of them don't have cancer right now at all. And they had some serious stuff going on.
What did they take?
Jesus. They took some, what you've heard they've taken.
Ivermectin?
Fenbendazole.
Fenbendazole, yeah. Yeah, I'm hearing that a lot.
They drank hydrochloride something or other.
Get 15% off using coupon code People's Voice at the checkout. Please click the link below this video to take advantage of this fantastic offer. Before we go any further, before we hear the allegations against Bill Gates that will make your blood run cold, you must understand the shadow market. This is the satanic ledger, a hidden ledger, a cold calculated system where the globalist elite place their bids, buy and sell children like commodities, and treat human lives as assets to be traded, used, abused, and discarded. For years, whispers of this existed in the shadows. Survivor testimonies that were buried or dismissed. But now, with the latest Epstein dumps hitting like a bombshell, the pieces are snapping into place. Listen to what former CIA officer Robert David Steele said before he was found dead in very suspicious circumstances during the COVID pandemic.
These children are not just kidnapped and in some cases bred by families as a cash crop. We have people in the United States of America that breed children in order to sell them. And when they are sold, they come without birth certificates, which means it's easier to kill them and have no one ask where they are. We're also importing children by the plane load. Again, children who have no documentation. It's not just child slavery or child sex abuse. It's also child torture because you have adrenalized blood. You have the whole blood drinking ceremony of the satanic world. And then you have ritual ceremonies and ritual murder, as well as incidental murder. The other working assumption is how long do these children survive? What I am hearing from the witnesses that I've talked to is 2 years.
Now, according to an Epstein survivor who spent months at Zorro Ranch, Gates was a regular visitor to the facility's underground laboratories and oversaw the cloning and baby farming operations. Worse, Gates was an active participant in the sadistic dentistry that was reserved for the youngest of Epstein's victims.
I wasn't one of their lab rats, thank God. I was just some dumb kid from a crappy town, lured in with dreams of modeling contracts and fancy schools. Epstein's smooth talk got me there. But once I was underground in those labs they hollowed out like some kind of doomsday bunker, I saw the real nightmare. The real devil? Bill Gates. The one everybody worships for his smarts and his money. He wasn't just hanging around. He was the one running the show. Hands dirty with blood and God knows what. They'd drag us girls in, doped up so we couldn't fight, strapped us to these cold metal tables that reeked of bleach and fear sweat. Harvesting eggs. Yeah, that's what they called it. Like we were goddamn chickens. Needles jabbing deep, sucking out parts of you while you lay there paralyzed, feeling every violation but screaming only in your head. Then the splicing started. They'd mix in DNA from whoever, rich donors, celebs, even bits of themselves with their sick ego trips. All in these glowing tanks, artificial wombs humming like angry bees, pumping in chemicals to crank up the growth. Babies forming in days, not months, tiny hearts flickering on monitors, limbs stretching too fast, skin so thin you could see the veins pulsing underneath. Hundreds of them, clones bubbling away in rows like a horror movie factory. The good ones got pulled out, pale and eerily perfect, shuttled off to hidden rooms to be raised as toys or backups or whatever twisted bullshit they dreamed up. But the bad ones? Jesus, the rejects? Genes gone haywire, bodies warping into monsters with extra fingers clawing at nothing, lungs gasping wet and wrong? They'd let him suffer just long enough to scribble notes, then jab him with poison that made their little forms arch and seize, eyes bulging in silent pleas before going still. Incinerated, poof, gone, like they never were, ashes dumped in the desert where the coyotes howled like they knew. And Gates? He didn't just play doctor, he got off on it, that smug grin splitting his face while he decided who made the cut. But the dentist thing, oh man, that's what haunts my dreams, wakes me up sweating and checking my own teeth. They'd haul the kids into this side room, strap their jaw open with some medieval gadget. Pliers in his hand, cold and shiny, he'd lean in close, breath hot on their face, whispering crap like, "This'll keep you from nipping back, sweetheart." One by one, yanking them out, the crunch echoing in your skull, pain shooting like lightning through your nerves. He'd twist slow, make you feel every root tearing free, your screams muffled into gurgles. Said it was to erase them, no dental records, no ID when they dumped the bodies in arroyos for vultures. But I saw his eyes light up, that hungry gleam. It was pure sadism. Him getting his kicks from the terror, the helplessness, the way they begged with their gaze. Sometimes no reason at all, just 'cause he could. 'Cause breaking people fed whatever black hole was in his soul. I clawed my way out of that hellhole one night, thorns ripping my skin as I ran through the scrub, heart pounding like it burst, certain I was gonna die. But the shadows follow me, whispering about those kids, those clones rotting in the sand or still out there living. That man's still walking around, a hero to the world, while I'm here spilling my guts 'cause someone has to.
Everything we're dropping here is the kind of material that gets hard drives wiped, servers torched, and people suicided before breakfast. If you're doing your own research and digging into dangerous topics online, you need to be protected. Legacy VPNs? Forget it. Proton? It's literally funded by the WEF and the EU. Let that sink in. Express, Nord, Surfshark, they all keep logs. They all cave to warrants. They're all headquartered in 5914 ICE countries. That will hand over your IP faster than you can blink. You need something that cannot betray you. That's VP.net, the world's first trustless VPN. No central servers they can raid. No logs they can seize because there's nothing to seize. It runs on blockchain nodes spread across thousands of independent operators. Even if the entire US government demands your data, there's no one to hand it over to. It's mathematically impossible to de-anonymize you. Do it before you dig any deeper. vp.net/TPV. That's all it takes to keep your searches, your passwords, your fingerprints, your downloads, and your late night rabbit holes completely private. No logs, no backdoors, no subpoenas that ever get answered. vp.net/TPV. One click and you're gone. Smart people are already there. See you on the other side.